An even better showing against the champions this time. Referee Tommy Sugrue then checks to make sure that everything is in order. And by the way, I note that Meath have already made a switch at halfback where Colm Coyle has come across and he is marking Barry Coffey, and Martin O'Connell has gone back to his number 7 position wearing 5, and he is marking Paul McGrath. So Tommy Sugrue, who was a central figure and a controversial figure at times in the original fixture, that's the switch we told you about over there on Cork's right half forward position. So Tommy Sugrue checks. Meath play from left to right. And the first replay since 1972 is underway, and it's Cork's Shea Fahy who's held in the opening seconds, and a free to Cork. Driven down towards Shea Fahy, taken by Mick Lyons, and well and truly caught and taken down. Free to Meath. Just being a little bit angry, Gerry McEntee there, and Larry Tompkins and Liam Harnan as well, exchanging words. Watch this once again. That catch was made by Lyons, and he was dragged around by McCarthy, and in came Barry Coffey. Down he went, no question about the free. Once again, they tried to shape up to one another, and Tommy Sugrue is taking out the notebook. He's putting it away again. Not quite sure whether or not to take the first name of this match. Just over a minute gone, 3 frees and a lot of pulling down. Solidly hit by Nation. Mick Lyons called poorly, let it drop down, but it's Colm Coyle who picks it up. O'Malley drives it out of defence, Shea Fahy under it, so too Joe Castles. Colm O'Rourke coming from behind to make it his. And he held on too long. Free to Cork. Colm O'Rourke, one of only 2 Meath men to score in the drawn fixture. Free quickly taken. Coonahan here. Pursued by Joe Castles. Left foot inside towards Barry Coffey. Judged it nicely, looking for the opening score. Cork have the lead and there are 2 minutes gone. The player we told you about who hadn't scored so far in the campaign, well, he's set that straight very quickly. First kick out then for Michael McQuillan. Gerry McEntee, troubled by a thigh injury, and he was pushed from behind, referee says, by Paul McGrath. Harnan drives it forward, punched down by Stafford, but back into the middle, and waiting for it there is Teddy McCarthy. Conor Coonahan. Terry Ferguson here, anxious to make an impression early on. That's a good deep ball. Can Beggy get onto it? Carried over by Nation for the game's first 45. That was a searching ball forward there, which David Beggy was powerless to hold on to. And he certainly has the pace to open up gaps here, but Tony Nation closing that one down, but conceding the free. Free then from 45 metres. Brian Stafford will be the taker. Teddy McCarthy going across the picture there was marking Gerry McEntee just in case Stafford was inclined to take a quick one. Breeze then behind him, and it's over the bar on the sides level. From the 45, Brian Stafford ties up the score in the early stages of this replayed All-Ireland final. Cork's all-star goalkeeper, John Kearns, right thigh heavily bandaged. Teddy McCarthy took it down with one hand, then had enough room and time to collect again. Barry Coffey here. Nation. Cork's captain down towards Dave Barry. Lets it bounce but collects the second time. Good chance of a score. And that's gone sailing over. Cork retake the lead. Dave Barry then, who didn't score in the drawn match 3 weeks ago, and he will be very pleased with his start here. And certainly after the pulling and dragging in the opening minute, the game seems to have settled down. It's Tony Davis belting into space. Mick Lyons winning the race for it with Dave Barry. Martin O'Connell selected on the right, playing on the left. Nicely chipped forward towards Colm O'Rourke. If he can touch it on, Stafford was moving inside, but he wasn't able to get to it. And this is Tony Davis. Shea Fahy. Line ball. The Cork dugout down there, Billy Morgan in the centre, Sean Murphy beside him, and Dr. Con Murphy. PJ Gillick unable to hold that. That's Niall Cahalane, and there was a wild fist that time, and the referee going back there trying to sort this one out, and Jerry McEntee is the player that he's trying to get a word with. Some of the others are shaping up to one another as well, and just as in the opening minute, it just took a wild blow like that to start the game moving again. And let's watch it once again as the referee checks with his linesman over there. Gillick couldn't hold it. Cahalane got onto it. Now watch what happened next. That's Jerry McEntee. And there's the fist which the referee hadn't seen. It's Jerry McEntee then that the referee has gone across to take his name. And he's been sent off. Sent off, Jerry McEntee. After just 6.5 minutes. The player about whom there was so much written and spoken before this match. Cheers of derision from the Cork fans. Niall Cahalane there being attended to by some of the St. John's ambulance people. Tony Davis having a word there with his team manager Billy Morgan. And Cork so have the extra man. And we've just got 6.5 minutes. Remember, the last time that Meath played in a replayed final here, the league final, they were down also to 14 players. That was after 10 minutes when Kevin Foley was sent off. On that occasion they came good in the second half. But this is the All-Ireland final, and they're up against a rampant Cork team, leading at the moment by 2 points to 1. So what switches and what changes will Meath make? And conversely, how are Cork going to use their extra man? This is Bernard Flynn. Some dragging that time, and the referee decides it's going to be a free-in, which Brian Stafford will take. Well, this is the moment when Meath certainly need performances by players who, so far in the All-Ireland semi-final and final, have not exactly turned it on for Meath. As Cork organise. Stafford can tie up the scores here. It's a very kickable position just outside the 20-metre line. That's gone over, and it's 2 points apiece. Both Meath scores coming from frees from the boot of Brian Stafford. So let's see what happens. Into midfield, PJ Gillick has travelled. He's going to partner Liam Hayes at midfield, and Colm O'Rourke, as happened in the replayed league final, has drifted out around the 40, taking Stephen O'Brien with him. Teddy McCarthy then tussling, and there's another wild fist. The Meath players just getting a little bit physical in their approach to this game. Teddy McCarthy in the wars on this occasion. A few moments ago it was Niall Cahalane. Free is quickly taken. Colm Coyle calling. That's Colm O'Rourke. We can expect him now to move away from the corner forward position, and they'll play with just 2 men up front. That'll be Bernard Flynn and Brian Stafford. Free to Meath. He's going to be the key man in this match from now on, I think, Colm O'Rourke. Nicely taken by Tony Davis. Cork now will try to press home their numerical advantage. Barry Coffey. Davis once again. Dave Barry here, and Mick Lyons just getting the fingertips to it. It's going to be a Cork ball. Well, he may have got the first point of the match from Mick Lyons, but Mick Lyons is determined that that's as much as he's going to get. Some dispute, the Meath player is not quite sure, and the referee has signalled that there was a push indeed by Mick Lyons on Dave Barry, so a free for Larry Tompkins. A chance then for Tompkins to get his name on the score sheet. Difficult angle, and it curls to the left and wide. So it remains Meath 2 points, Cork 2 points, at early stages in this first half. So down at the other end, Coleman Corrigan then, together with Niall Cahalane, manning the goal area against two Meath players in the full forward line. That's a poor ball. Johnny McEntee there, forced to sit out the remainder of this particular game. Cork Lions there in the background as well, with Matty McCabe. PJ Gillick taking it with some difficulty. Over Conor Coonahan's head. Misjudged by Niall Cahalane. Coleman Corrigan back there, however. He's got support if he needs it from Conor Coonahan, who readjusts his position. And a very poor clearance out of defence. Well, he knows he should have distributed that a little bit better. Sean Boylan then, who will really have his work cut out to retain the All-Ireland title with just 14 players. Touchdown to the waiting Conor Coonahan. A bit more careful with his distribution down towards Larry Tompkins. Misjudged the flight of the ball. Robbie O'Malley then to Terry Ferguson. Joe Castle's here, the team captain this afternoon. Bernard Flynn looking for his first score, hasn't scored for 3 matches. That's blocked down well by Barry Coffey. Good support, however, by Colin Coyle. Loses it. Fahy nipping in. Cork's midfielder did so well in the draw match. And towards Paul McGrath, but fisted down into the waiting arms of Robbie O'Malley of Meath. Liam Hayes here. Little belt forward intended for David Beggy. Taken instead by Tony Nation, his marker held, and that's going to be a free out for Cork. Straight into the Meath cover, and it's Beggy who takes it. Good solo run by David Beggy. Well, he spotted Stephen O'Brien covering, and he passed it a little bit too rashly, and it's taken by Tony Davis to Teddy McCarthy here. Challenged over there by Gillick, allowed an advantage. Once again challenged, and this time the referee signals that it was an unfair challenge from behind, and that's going to be a free for Cork. And it'll be right on the 45-metre line. Teddy is a little bit winded. 13 minutes gone in the first half. 2 points apiece, as the referee has a little word there with PJ Gillick, and it's a free from the 45-metre line by Larry Tompkins. This one he's judged to a T, and it's over the bar, and Cork are in front again. Tompkins' first score has come from a free, and it's come in the 14th minute of the first half. Stephen O'Brien fisting it down, but only to the waiting Colm Coyle. And look how he's pushing up quickly, not allowing the attacker to settle on the ball. In towards Bernard Flynn it travels, but it's taken by Niall Cahalane. Cahalane gets a good and fair shoulder there from Colm O'Rourke, but he holds on to the ball too long, and the referee Tommy Sugrue says that's a free in for Meath from just outside the 20-metre line, and the sides should be level again in just a moment. Cahalane has done a very good tight marking job on opponents in the last 3 matches. Indeed, that number 2 shirt, he's worn number 2, 3 and 4 for Cork this year in the Championship. So this to make it 3 points apiece in the All-Ireland Football final replay, and Brian Stafford duly taps it over for his 3rd point. So with 15 minutes gone in the first half, in case you've come in late, Meath have had a player sent off, Jerry McEntee, after 6.5 minutes. It's 3 points apiece, all Meath scores coming from frees from Brian Stafford. Coffey, fouled, and a free to Cork. Good deep ball again by Tony Nation. Martin O'Connell judges it well, gets behind it, holds it carefully, and Coyle once again is available. Coleman Corrigan unable to prevent that one from going out over the sideline, and it'll be a Meath sideline ball. Coleman Corrigan, who missed the Munster final because of injury, and you see the knee there very heavily strapped up still. Legacy of an injury, cartilage injury, that kept him out of the Munster final. Brian Stafford, ball still in play. Stephen O'Brien here, little nudge from behind by David Peggy. Nation. Twisted by PJ Gillick to Shea Fahy. Shea Fahy now of Nemo Rangers. Foul by Coyle, who's been very busy so far. Did much of the play so far in this match. You'll have noticed there's travel down here in front of the Hogan stand, down along the left-hand side of the field, as Cork attack from right to left. I don't think the ball has got across Dennis Allen's wing so far in the match. Tompkins low, taken by Robbie O'Malley. He's out to the ball first time, to midfield towards Bernard Flynn, trying to judge the hop. In comes Cahalane, supported there by Conor Coonahan. Rather a wild boot in there from Joe Castles, the Meath captain, free to Cork, taken too swiftly. And the referee decides that Meath were not back the requisite distance. Free will be taken again. Cahalane with the left boot forward to Davis. That's travelling in rather invitingly inside for Barry Coffey, and taken down there by Robbie O'Malley. And Robbie O'Malley then is fouled. Michael McCarthy, the player who's on the ground there, Cork's number 15. And the referee wants him up off the ground quickly. Michael McCarthy has scored 4 points in the campaign so far for Cork. Liam Hayes trying to hold it, but Stephen O'Brien's down there. And a push on a Cork player, free to Meath. Just to check on the frees so far, 13 for Cork and 7 for Meath. So nearly 90 minutes gone and 20 frees so far. Referee doing his best to allow the match to flow as much as possible, but so much at stake. Balanced at the moment, 3 points apiece. That's Colm Coyle back there. So many people ask the question, why wasn't he in the original fixture? Shea Fahy taking it across to Tony Nation. Paul McGrath here has the skill to open up chances inside, and that's a very high challenge by Colm O'Rourke, but the referee didn't see it that way, and he says that it's a free to Meath. Worth seeing again. Paul McGrath had the ball. Let's see what happened here. Well, it's a strange one, isn't it? It's taken by Niall Cahalane, trying to get away from Colm O'Rourke, and the referee once again shakes his head, has blown the whistle. Little that he can do if the players are not going to play with a bit more fluency. Prediction, of course, all week that this would be a hard, tough physical encounter. The big prize is at stake. They've had one chance of it already. They know one another's style of play so well, and nobody's prepared to yield an inch. Meath ball. John Goff decides here, the referee from Antrim, linesman this evening. Colm Corrigan doesn't look entirely happy with that knee injury. So it'll be Liam Hayes who will take the sideline ball. In towards Brian Stafford. Cork daren't foul him inside in the large parallelogram. Bernard Flynn. And this time he overholds, and the referee says that's a free out for Cork. Cork still, it seems to me, trying to decide among themselves how they're going to use that extra player, and they've had the extra player now since the 7th minute, 6.5 minutes indeed, from the start of the match when Meath lost Jerry McEntee. Sean coach and manager there, Sean Boylan, who's done so much to restore pride in this green and gold of Meath. In it goes towards Dennis Allen. That, I think, is his first touch. Picked up there by Liam Hayes, and certainly they're showing great commitment and great running, Meath, trying to make up the numerical imbalance. Colm O'Rourke here, still 3 points apiece, remember. Fisted forward towards David Beggy. 2 Cork men on him. That's Dave Barry back there. This is Coffey, swinging it across towards Teddy McCarthy, getting there just ahead of Robbie O'Malley. Referee's whistle sounds. Free by Robbie O'Malley initially before the second connection made by Colm Coyle on Teddy McCarthy. Fahy the taker, down towards Dennis Allen. Trying to get through Robbie O'Malley, and Terry Ferguson released to Michael McCarthy. McCarthy then allowed an advantage. Back it comes to Tompkins. Swinging it nicely. Judged, however, by Michael McQuillan. Held in there in his small square where he cannot be challenged, and that's going to be a free out for Meath. This time we saw Larry Tompkins again that got some loose ball. Cork trying to confuse Meath in midfield by moving around and trying to just create an element of confusion as to who should be marking whom. Tony Davis, it seems, is the one that Cork are giving a free rein to. Let's see how he'll use it. Tony Nation meanwhile. Colm Corrigan. Davis is calling on the far side. There he is now. He's the loose player. How can they use this man then to best effect? An overhead pass to Dave Barry. Joe Castles. Unable to get it up with any degree of comfort. Challenged all the way by Barry Coffey. And the referee signals that he was pushed, and it's going to be a free in for Meath. Castles then the veteran captain. Just a little bit outside the range of Brian Stafford, one would think, although you never can tell. From an awkward position. He's hit it well. Drops down, and there was a little confusion in there before Stephen O'Brien flicked it away to his right. Conor Coonahan. Terry Ferguson under the dropping ball. Meath playing well despite being down to 14 men, pressing forward the whole time. Liam Hayes here, taken down on a free, which Brian Stafford, you can be sure, will take. It so often happens, of course, that when a team loses a player, they somehow compensate by doing a good deal more running and creating more chances for one another and backing one another up well. And that's happening at the moment from Meath's point of view. Cork looking a little bit in disarray. So 10 minutes before half-time, Brian Stafford kicks, and over it sails, and Meath are in front. Stafford's got all their points, they've all come from frees, and that is the position then, 4 points to 3. Good kick out from John Kearns, but once again it's Martin O'Connell, and everything is going well for the champions at the moment. It's taken by Niall Cahalane ahead of Bernard Flynn, yet to score. Tony Davis here. Well, he wasn't tripped. The referee quite rightly allows an advantage. Barry Tompkins. Cut out here by PJ Gillick. Martin O'Connell, good sidestep. Con Coonahan gets there first. There's Paul McGrath with a punt forward towards Dennis Allen. Mick Lyons flicks it away, but back to Paul McGrath from whence it all started. Good inviting ball inside. McCullen drops, then recovers. It's Meath who seem to be playing with the extra man. Colm Coyle here. Shea Fahy fumbling. It comes back to Stephen O'Brien. Here's Tony Nation playing well at left half back. Challenged from behind by David Beggy, chopping down as it were, and the referee signals the free in for Cork. So it's 4 points for Meath, Cork 3 points. That's the amount of time remaining in the first half, and once again a reminder that all Meath scores coming from frees from Brian Stafford. Cork's 3 points, incidentally, made up of a Larry Tompkins free and Barry Coffey and Dave Barry scoring from play. Sean Boylan then on the edge of the sideline, cross on the far side of the field. That's from our camera angle behind the Hill 16. Meanwhile, this is 50 metres out. It is Larry Tompkins the taker. Will he drop it in? Giving it everything he has. And that's a nice point, and they're level again. Larry Tompkins' second point, both of them coming from frees. A smile on the face of the manager, Billy Morgan. Interesting how Cork are deploying some of their players. Larry Tompkins is out around midfield right now, so too is Dave Barry. And they're playing with just 2 players up in their full forward line, Dennis Allen and Michael McCarthy. So both sides playing with a twin-pronged full forward line attack, as it were. But the nature of Gaelic football today, of course, is these players are so fit that they can come through from midfield and create some very dangerous situations for the opposition. Very disconsolate Jerry McEntee waits as the player that he was involved with, Niall Cahalane, takes the free. Touchdown to the waiting Liam Hayes. Driven into space. And that's Coleman Corrigan going out there with Colm O'Rourke, who's coming the opposite direction. Off balance, gets it as far as Larry Tompkins. Does so well when he comes to midfield in matches. Gets a bit more space in which to express himself. And that's a needless pull down by Liam Hayes, and the referee quite correctly takes out the book, and Hayes becomes the second player to have his name taken. And remember, Meath will keep on reminding you, down to 40 men. So a kickable position just about for Larry Tompkins. 46 metres out. Sides all tied up. And Cork go back in front again. Thanks to that magnificent score by Larry Tompkins. His third point, and it's now Cork in front by 5 points to 4. Well, just a few moments ago, Meath had taken the lead from the boot of Brian Stafford, making it 4 points to 3. But Cork have come back well in the last few minutes. So just under 5 minutes to go to the half-time whistle. Joe Castles here being dragged by Conor Coonahan, free quickly taken into the middle to Liam Harnan, onto the other Liam Hayes, dropping it forward, intended for David Beggy, well read by Tony Nation, but he lets it drop down, and that's Stephen O'Brien covering, showing great experience back there, even though he's only 18 years of age. Barry Coffey here. And it's quite an aimless kick into space, but it might come good yet. The backup here from Teddy McCarthy, well and taken down by Mick Lyons, and that should be another bookable offence, surely. Well, there's no excuse for that, even though, of course, the player will not want to let the forwards have an advantage. But the referee quite correctly speaking to Mick Lyons from Summerhill, and his name goes into the book as well. So in the last couple of minutes in this match, Liam Hayes and Mick Lyons have both been booked by Meath. Cork continue to lead by 5 points to 4. 3 of their points coming from this man here, Larry Tompkins. Not noted as a place kicker from the right-hand side, where they prefer a left-footed kicker, but that one is absolutely inch perfect. He's now on 4 points, same as Stafford, but Cork have a 2-point advantage with just over 2 minutes to go to the half-time whistle. Michael McCullen then taking extreme care with this kick out. And Meath win it in the middle. Once again it drops down to Cork's loose player, Tony Davis, the extra man. Belting it forward, Martin O'Connell is under it well. He's got support on the far side and he gets it there with Robbie O'Malley. Dodging around would-be tackles. Driven well across field to Terry Ferguson, the left corner back moving up. Point around Conor Coonahan. Bernard Flynn here, belting it towards David Beggy. This is a good build-up. Cork have been tending to drift in towards the man on the ball, leaving a loose player, and it's exploited by a free-running Meath attack, and that's Colm O'Rourke who gets his first score of the afternoon, an invaluable one, making it 6 points to 5. Well, Cork guilty on that particular occasion of drifting in towards the player who's on the ball, almost en masse, leaving gaps, and we had a series of very fine moves, and that will have pleased the Meath manager Sean Boylan no end. Broken down by Shea Fatty to the other number 8, Liam Hayes. Will Meath get on level terms before half-time? Stopped by Coleman Corrigan. Belted to midfield, but aimlessly so. Meath backing one another up well. This is Joe Castles. Blocked down by Dave Barry. Supposed to be playing in the forwards, but he spent much of the last 10 minutes back there around the half-back line. Barry Coffey towards Dennis Allen. Fisted down by Mick Lyons. It's going to be a Cork ball. Taken by Larry Tompkins to Dave Barry, trying to escape from the shackles of Colm O'Rourke. Stephen O'Brien here. Conor Coonahan. Loose player outside, Tony Davis. With a minute to go to half-time. Fitting to stretch Cork's lead, but he's put it wide. Cork then continuing to lead by 6 points to 5. And the referee has decided that that ball had not, I think, travelled outside the 20-metre line. Let's just see what he's deciding here. Or was it a pick-up on the far side? Well, it's going to hop the ball. And it's taken by Paul McGrath into Michael McCarthy, giving it plenty of elevation, but not enough accuracy. Cork's third wide in the first half. Meath, incidentally, no wides whatsoever, but 5 points to their credit, trailing the challengers at the moment by a point. So the crowds here, around about 64,000, waiting for this match still to take off. As the referee whistles for half-time, it hasn't been a particularly free-flowing first half. Plenty of errors, but Meath reduced to 14 men after 6.5 minutes when Jerry McEntee was sent off. Leading scorers so far, Stafford and Tompkins 4 each. And at half-time, Cork lead by a point. It's Cork 6 points, Meath 5. We'll be back very shortly.
They have the players to win it. They've got to hold possession, use it sensibly, and not go for stupid scores or start kicking the ball wildly out of defence. If we use the ball properly, we can win this match with a couple of points to spare.
Kevin McCabe, Meath seem to me to be working very, very hard to cover up for the fact that they're down that man, but they must get tired in the second half.
That's true. The man was sent off very early in the first half. Their legs will start to get weary, but they proved that they can play with 14 men against Dublin in the National League, and they won that game. So I'm not discounting Meath yet, Granny. I think they're still in with a good chance, and with the breeze behind them, it's going to be a very interesting second half.
Okay, gentlemen, that's the situation then. So Cork, as you can see, are coming back out to take up their positions again. So let's go back then to Ger Canning for commentary on the second half.
Colm O'Neill has been brought in by Cork at the start of the second half, playing top of the right. He's a left-footed player, rather an enigmatic figure, but if he can turn it on, then he is a terrific performer. It seems to me that Michael McCarthy is the one who has gone. McCarthy then is off, and in the revamped Cork attack, I note that Paul McGrath has gone to top of the left, so it's Colm O'Neill, top of the right. Dennis Allen full forward, and top of the left, Paul McGrath. And in the half-forward line at the moment, you've got Teddy McCarthy, who's on the 40, and I would assume then that Larry Tompkins has gone to midfield, as indeed he has, to partner Shea Fahy. Meath, of course, playing with 14 men, and once again it's PJ Gillick who lines up in the middle of the field along with Liam Hayes. There's Teddy McCarthy, gone into the 40 now for the third time in this championship series. Did so the last day, did so as well in the Munster final with great success. And Tony Davis continues to be the loose player, the player who doesn't have anybody to mark. That's Sean Boylan, just checking with his watch. So the referee wants everybody back inside the 45-metre lines. And so it's 6 points to 5 at the start of the second half. Cork the leaders. Now attacking the goal on our right, Tony Davis up towards Dennis Allen. Will they put in that ball a little bit faster in the second half? Released outside to Barry Coffey, fumbled however, and it's taken by Robbie O'Malley, who's playing an absolutely outstanding game at right corner back. Challenged by Teddy McCarthy, and the referee didn't think it was a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. And Teddy McCarthy using his elbow, Tommy Sugru decides. Free was taken a little bit too rashly, however. Cork sideline ball. Tony Nation the taker. Towards Barry Coffey. Paul McGrath there too, and once again it's Robbie O'Malley who takes it out. Held, and that's going to be a free. O'Malley will be the taker. Bernard Flynn, by the way, seems to have taken on a new role for this second half and switched with David Beggy. Flynn is now operating around right half forward. Beggy is in the full forward line, being marked by Niall Cahalane. Meanwhile, that's Stephen O'Brien facing his own goal and taking it spectacularly, leaving it behind to Stafford, driven with the left boot, and the sides are level. The magnificent Brian Stafford picks that one over the bar. He's the game's leading scorer now. That's his 5th point, the first to come from play, and it's 6 points each. So what a start then for the 14 men to this second half. Cork then, having decided who the extra player shall be, Tony Davis. Let's see how they use him. They're playing this ball out towards him, but he's marked there by PJ Gillick. Larry Tompkins taking it. Free for Cork. Cahalane, left boot forward towards Colm O'Neill, over its head however, and Teddy McCarthy held there by Liam Harnan, and no question it's a free in for Cork. Harnan shakes his head, but he was holding on to Teddy McCarthy when that ball was coming in. So Cork now having 2 players who can kick frees accurately in their team, Larry Tompkins and Colm O'Neill. This time it's going to be Tompkins. 4 points from frees in the first half. Concentration then. 35 metres out. Kicking into a gentle breeze. And he floats it over nonetheless. Sides then with just a point between them, and Cork go in front once more. McLyons is marking Dennis Allen, who's now moved to full forward. It's a move which Cork tried in the drawn game as well. McQuillan's kick. On by PJ Gillick's fist. Into space. Colm O'Rourke trying to press forward. It's Coleman Corrigan then who's playing really well at full-back for Cork. To Conor Coonahan. Up towards Colm O'Neill. Mickey Kearns, the linesman, I think decided that that one went off both players. So Michael Kearns, then the former great Sligo player, now a fine official in Connacht, throwing that one in, and it's Shea Fahy taking it unchallenged. Fouled by Martin O'Connell. Tompkins taking it to the unmarked Dave Barry. Unexpected a lot more from Dave Barry and Dennis Allen. Here he comes. Saved by Colm Coyle. Coyle backed into that well. Tompkins slips. Paul McGrath chips up, shouldered by Colm Coyle, and the referee says free in. No advantage allowed. Nicely taken up that time by Paul McGrath. Then Coyle went in and nudged him in the back. So it's going to be a free in for Cork. Larry Tompkins will be the taker, his side ahead by a point, by 7 points to 6, and he's kicked 5 frees so far. That's 6 points he's got. Cork enjoying a 2-point lead, now trying to pull away from the All-Ireland champions and press home their numerical advantage. Gillick is marking Tompkins at midfield. Bernard Flynn hasn't scored in his last 3.5 matches now, and it's Tony Nation who's his marker. They hope by switching him out to the wing that he might get a little bit more leeway. Here is Tony Davis on to the on-running Teddy McCarthy, looks behind him, Joe Castles is coming, but still Teddy McCarthy into the arms of Martin O'Connell, belted clear, low towards David Beggy, nice pick up, trying to run Niall Cahalane, he's got the pace, Cahalane holds, gets a second bite at it, holds it and takes it up, and drives it back into the teeth of that Meath defence. Robbie O'Malley, so commanding, fouled, and a free out for Meath. O'Malley's so good at covering right across his line. This is the man, Colm O'Neill, who was hoping to subdue Robbie O'Malley just a little bit. Martin O'Connell, the free taker. Meath the champions, trailing by 2 points, 8 points to 6. Dave Barry to Taker. Trying to swing it in. Gets support from Teddy McCarthy, but goes back on whence all that started. And a very poor ball straight away to Joe Castles. Down towards Brian Stafford. From being under pressure, Meath now found themselves in the attack. This is Flynn. Looking up, trying to pick out Brian Stafford again. There, who looks so relaxed and so composed on the ball. Joe Castles, the team captain, turns around Dennis Allen. That's Colm O'Rourke, and that's over the bar, and that's one back. O'Rourke's second point, making it 8 points to 7, and there are 7 minutes gone in the second half. Colm O'Rourke has had a good campaign so far, 8 points going into this match, and that's 10 points for the championship to date. Oh, a huge leap in the air that time, beautifully taken by Barry Coffey. Visit to Larry Tompkins. Support from the centre half-back, Conor Coonahan. Towards Colm O'Neill, 2 East Cork men. Player loose ahead of him was Paul McGrath, but he did it just a little bit too long. And there was a foul by McGrath on Robbie O'Malley. The free to Meath. Billy Morgan then being called on by the referee, and Dr. Con Murphy comes in as well just to attend to Shay Fahy there, who picked up a facial injury. They had a spirited display in the first half, but Cork generally didn't seem to have themselves sorted out as to how they would use the extra player for long periods in the first half. And then on occasions they were aimlessly punting the ball forward, a tactic which worked 3 weeks ago, which the Meath defence this afternoon have been very quick to shore up. So just a point between the teams. Cork playing with 15 players ahead by 8 points to 7. And the umpire is out there, and he is repositioning the ball for this free for Meath. And the referee acknowledges the umpire here with a smile on his face for being so vigilant. Tompkins at the back there, can't hold on to that one. It's Colm Coyle belting it right-footed down into the heart of the Cork defence towards Bernard Flynn, but that trickled and the goalkeeper kept it in play, and the umpire said it went wide. Well, the referee has decided that it's gone out for a 45, even though the umpire had waved that one wide. You'll notice indeed that John Kearns was very swiftly off his line that time to make sure that the ball didn't go off, because he saw it touching a defender on its way. Meanwhile, it's Brian Stafford who will take the 45. Stafford with 5 points so far in the match. Meath this afternoon playing their 10th match in Croke Park. It's become a ground I'm sure they're almost more familiar with than Port Talton in Navan. That's beautifully struck, but just as I say it, he's put it outside and wide. One of the few to go away from him. There's a little word with the referee, Tommy Sugru, there. So it remains Cork 8 points, Meath 7, and there are now just over 10 minutes gone in the second half. This time a facial injury, and it's Colm O'Rourke shaping up to Larry Tompkins and getting out of hand. And Burton, the physio, is in there to attend to the injured player. There's Colm O'Rourke, who was involved just a moment ago, as we watch the slow motion of that one. There was a nudge, definitely, and the Meath player then hit the ground rather roughly, and then this is what developed afterwards. So Joe Castles, then the team captain, picking himself up. That 33 will change to 34 tomorrow. So an important free then for Brian Stafford to take. Side behind by a point. This is a little bit more accurate than the last kick. A good deal more accurate. They're over the bar. And his 6th point has tied it up once more. So the Meath flags then flying in celebration of that score by the ace cool Brian Stafford. He's absolutely as cool as ice. That's going towards Barry Coffey's wing. Fouled by Colm Coyle, and a free to Cork. Tompkins. Well, making his intentions too well known to the Meath defence that time. They regrouped well. And there was a wild kick, and the free is taken. And this is Liam Hayes. A lot of pulling and dragging in this final. But when it's all over and done with, the only thing that will be remembered is who holds the Sam Maguire Cup. No goals so far, 8 points apiece. And the last goalless final was 1969, when Kerry beat Offaly by 10 points to 7. Cahalon's sideline ball. Martin O'Connell can't take it. Larry Tompkins trying to come more and more into this match, playing in the middle of the field now. Good ball into Dave Barry. Ahead towards Paul McGrath, but an overhead pass. And all this while Dennis Allen was waiting for it on the far side of the field, unmarked. But it reaches Colm Coyle. That was Dennis Allen taking it from Coyle. Neat interception. Coleman Corrigan across towards Barry Coffey's wing. Coffey looking up, chipping it towards Colm O'Neill. Yet to score since coming on at the start of the second half.